This is the AI Executive Brief, and I'm Stephen Forte, the Enterprise Inflection Point. Today we'll talk about why AI just stopped trying to impress consumers and started coming for your payroll budget. So here's the story. This week, OpenAI killed Sora, their video generation app. The thing launched last September, hit #1 on the iOS App Store, got 1 million downloads faster than ChatGPT itself, and now it's gone. Pulled the plug, shut the doors, turned off the lights, and the reason why tells you everything you need to know about where AI is headed in 2026. Fidji Simo, she's OpenAI's CEO of applications, held an all-hands meeting and said, quote, "We cannot miss this moment because we are distracted by side quests," end quote, side quests. That's what OpenAI's leadership now calls a product that $1 billion Disney deal was built around. That Disney deal, off the table, no money exchanged. 200 licensed characters back on the shelf. Why would they do this? Because the math doesn't work for consumer AI anymore. And if you're running a business, this is the signal you've been waiting for. Let me walk you through the numbers. OpenAI crossed $25 billion in annualized revenue back in February. They've got 900 million weekly active users. 92% of the Fortune 500 is using ChatGPT. Sounds incredible, right? Here's the problem. They're burning $14 billion a year, up from $8 or $9 billion last year. And video generation is among the most compute-intensive things you can ask AI to do. Bill Peebles, the head of Sora, called the economics, his words, completely unsustainable. So you've got hundreds of millions of consumers asking AI to generate pasta recipes and funny cat videos at $20 a month, and that cannot fund what comes next. Enterprise licenses for agentic workers running queries and workflows around the clock, that's recurring high-margin revenue. That's where the real money lives. OpenAI has 3 million paying business users now, up 50% from a year ago. About 10 billion of their revenue comes from enterprise. And every GPU that was rendering Sora videos is now being redirected to Codex and enterprise tooling. They're not pivoting away from ambition, they're pivoting toward survival. And an IPO reportedly by Q4 of this year. Every decision OpenAI makes right now is in service of that timeline, and killing a beloved consumer product to free up compute for enterprise revenue, that tells you exactly what the investors are betting on. Now here's where it gets interesting. While OpenAI is figuring this out, Anthropic already figured it out. Anthropic never built a video generator, never launched a social network, never tried to be a consumer darling. They went straight for the enterprise, and the numbers show it. According to Ramp data, Anthropic now captures 73% of first-time enterprise AI spending. That was a 50-50 split with OpenAI just 10 weeks ago, 73%. Claude Code, their developer product, is at a $2.5 billion annualized run rate. Let that land for a second. That number doubled since January 1st, in less than 3 months. Business subscriptions quadrupled in the same period. They have over 500 customers spending more than $1 million a year, and 7x growth in customers spending over $100K. Their margins swung from negative 94% in 2024 to positive 40% in 2025. That's not a pivot. That's a strategy that was right from day one. But the real headline this week isn't the revenue. It's what Anthropic launched on Monday, Claude Cowork, with full computer use. And this is worth your attention. Claude now controls your mouse, your keyboard, your screen. It opens applications, navigates your browser, fills out spreadsheets, takes screenshots, reads what's on the display, and acts on it. It tries the smart route first, direct connectors to Slack, Calendar, your business apps, and when those aren't available, it falls back to literally looking at your screen and clicking through it the way a human would. This isn't a chatbot in a text box. This is an agent sitting at your desk doing work. And here's the part that changes the game, the dispatch feature. You can assign Claude a task from your phone, walk away, go to your kid's soccer game, come back to finished work on your actual computer with your actual applications. Now, let me be clear, it's early. Anthropic themselves say it's about 80% reliable for simple tasks, around 50% for complex ones. It won't touch your brokerage account or your medical records or your legal systems. There are guardrails baked in and good ones. This is not ready for mission-critical, unsupervised work. But the trajectory is unmistakable. And if you've been in technology long enough, you know 80% reliable today means 95% reliable in 6 months. The total addressable market for AI just shifted. It's no longer competing for a line item in your IT budget. It's competing for every dollar you spend on payroll. Think about that. The largest expense for most of you listening is people. And now there's a technology that's learning to do the work those people do at a fraction of the cost, at scale, around the clock. That's the disruption. Not better search, not prettier images, AI that does the work. So what does this mean for you? As a CEO, as a president running a business, here's the insight I keep coming back to at Build Club, and it's the thing that separates companies that are actually getting value from AI versus the ones just buying licenses and hoping for the best. Stop thinking about AI as a tool. Start thinking about it as an employee. I don't mean that metaphorically, I mean it operationally. An AI agent needs the same things a new hire needs: clear instructions, defined scope, material to review, guardrails on what it should and shouldn't do, and someone checking its work. When you frame it that way, it becomes intuitive. Your team already knows how to manage people. They don't know how to engineer prompts, but they know how to delegate. And this changes how you interact with AI entirely. Instead of punching in data and waiting for an answer, and instead of treating it like a search engine with better grammar, you start doing things like open-ended delegation. Look at my calendar, my inbox, and my project list, and what should I be working on today? Negative prompting. What have I missed? What's not in this analysis? What am I not seeing? Second pass review. Now take a critical approach to what you just created. Where are the gaps? Where would a competitor poke holes in this? AI doesn't always get it right on the first pass. The real skill is knowing to ask for that second pass, that critical review. That's management. That's not technical training. It's a fundamentally different relationship with computing. And most companies haven't even started. 84% of organizations have not redesigned their jobs or workflows around AI, and that's from Deloitte. And that number should stagger you. Meanwhile, Gartner says 40% of enterprise applications will feature AI agents by the end of this year, up from under 5% in 2025. The global AI market is projected at $2.53 trillion in 2026. The gap between where the technology is and where most organizations are, that is the single biggest opportunity in enterprise right now, and it's closing fast. The early movers aren't just getting efficiency gains, they're building institutional muscle that compounds. Every month you wait, the distance between you and the companies already doing this gets harder to close. So, your Monday morning action item. This week, I want you to pick one workflow in your business, not the most complex one. Pick something routine, a weekly report, a vendor comparison, an onboarding checklist, and assign it to an AI agent the way you'd assign it to a new hire. Write out the instructions, define what good looks like, review the output, give feedback, run it again. You will learn more about AI's real capability and your organization's real readiness from that one exercise than from any strategy deck. The companies that treat AI like an employee, that manage it, train it, review its work, those are the ones that will capture this market. Everyone else is still on side quests. That is the AI Executive Brief for Friday, March 27th. I am Stephen Forte. If this was useful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. I will be back Monday with more. Until then, stay sharp.